the writer now began to say in verse 11 to 14, PJ, give me verse 11 and 12 of Genesis chapter 4.
And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand.
12.
When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth.
A fugitive and vagabond. Now, God obviously was not reacting in anger. God was not reacting in wrath to the sin of Cain. Rather, God was stating the consequence of what Cain had done. The consequence of what Cain had done. However, pay attention to Cain's words. Verse 13 and 14, PJ. Verse 13 and 14.
And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me.
So Cain acknowledged the fact that to kill another, which is murder, are actions of men. To kill another, which is murder, are actions of men. That was why the next thing the writer said was Genesis 4:15, PJ. Genesis chapter 4 verse 15.
And the Lord said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him.
Again, notice the emphasis. Everyone that findeth me shall slay me. That's what Cain said. Notice that emphasis. Number 2. God said, whosoever slayeth Cain. Then number 3, any finding him should kill him. All this is within human interactions. Are you observing? Everyone that findeth me shall slay me. 2, whosoever slayeth Cain. 3, any finding him should kill him. So, God protected Cain from what man would have done unto him. God protected Cain because what man would have done to Cain was to kill him, obviously to avenge his late brother. Not that God was the one who was going to kill Cain. God was not the one that was whosoever findeth me shall slay me. Rather, God's part in this whole scene was to protect Cain. So it is obvious, therefore, that the tenses applied by the writer in his explanation of what God said to Cain from verse 11 to 12, which Cain described as my punishment, are permissive, not causative. My punishment there is from a permissive tense, not from a causative tense. Just like we explained that the writer explains sin, death, wrath, wickedness, which are evil, as to emanate from the heart of man and are found within human interactions. God's action in this scenario was to pre-inform. That was God's action. To pre-inform. Then to relate the consequence of what Cain did to him. That's all. He pre-informed, then related to Cain the outcome of his choice. Then when he cried unto the Lord in fear of man, what man will do to him by killing him, God protected him. That's all. That's the part God played. Now pay attention. So therefore, the writer in this narrative again portrays God's inaction. God's inaction in the motions of sin. That God's inaction in the motions of sin and its manifestation as wrath, murder, wickedness, which are evil. So the permissive tenses of verbs in the context of the scripture we just read, Genesis 4, were applied by the writers to explain to us God's inaction. God is inactive in sin. God is inactive in death. God is inactive in wrath. And God is inactive in wickedness, which are evil, and they only emanate from the heart of a man and are found within human interactions. So God is inactive in the motion of sin and in its manifestations. So that narrative we read were applied by the writers to explain God's inaction, while the causative tenses like done, slay, kill were to explain man's actions. Done, slay, what have you done? Slay, kill were to explain man's actions.